Okay, David, you've got the Kel Tec KSG there. You have a few comments to make about this firearm?
Yep, this is the Kel Tec shotgun, the KSG, and it's a completely redesign of the shotgun. It is a bullpup design, which means the overall length of the weapon is far smaller than the typical shotgun. Actually, it's about 12 inches smaller. This will allow you to maneuver in tight spaces, through doorways and hallways a lot easier. It also has 2 magazine tubes, each one holding 7 rounds, so total capacity is 14 plus 1 for a staggering amount of ammunition. The way you switch between the different tubes is a lever right in here. If you move the lever to the right, you're moving the, you're using the right-hand tube.
Yeah.
If you move it to the left, you're using the left-hand tube.
Okay.
The manual of arms is completely different for this shotgun than any other shotgun. The action release, rather than being back here on the grip, is actually forward of the trigger guard right here.
Let's get a close-up of that. Yep.
And safety, rather than being on the tang or in front or behind the trigger guard, is actually up on top. This is fire mode, and that's safe mode.
One more time.
Fire mode and safe mode. So you actually will disengage it with your thumb to disengage that safety. Again, quite a bit different than using the tang or the trigger mounted.
Need a little practice then.
The manual of arms is totally different than any other shotgun. It feels fairly foreign. I haven't had a lot of time with this. The controls all seem quite usable, but it is foreign because pretty much everything is in a different place.
What if you put in terms of an optic on top of that thing?
This is the Aimpoint PRO, Patrol Rifle Optic. It also has the Diamond Head AR sights that I've mounted to it.
So it's co-witnessing with the iron sights?
That is 100% co-witness. If the mount was a little bit taller, it would be a third co-witness, but right now it is full co-witness.
What is the point of this gun, David?
The point of this gun is either a home defense gun, which allows you to manipulate the weapon in tight confines a lot better than the full-size gun, going through hallways and doorways and things like that. It's a lot easier to do it with a compact weapon than a full-size shotgun. An additional benefit for police or military is you can have different kinds of rounds in the different tubes. For instance, you could have slugs in one tube and buckshot in another.
But not lethal and less lethal.
I never recommend mixing lethal and non-lethal rounds. You want to have a separate gun for the less than lethal ammunition.
Right, but now 14 shots is a lot for home defense. I mean, can you imagine a scenario where you have to shoot 14...
For home defense, that's probably not as big of a benefit as it sounds, because a shotgun is a devastatingly powerful handgun, firearm, with a tremendous amount of stopping power. Unlike the handgun, we normally have to do, I shouldn't say normally, but you very often have to do a lot of shots, 4, 5, 6 shots. With a shotgun, 1 or 2 rounds is certainly going to persuade your ongoing attacker. So 14 rounds is not as much of a benefit as it may sound, because you just probably aren't going to need that much with such a devastating round.
But the big advantage is the short size then.
Without a doubt.
For going around corners.
Yep, without a doubt. That's the biggest. That is a good advantage for not only homeowners, but for police and military as well.
Okay, you want to just move around? Show us, we'll
Sure.
finish with that. Just show us some moving. Okay, thank you.